Concrete strength and durability effects in many factors. One of the main factor is the temperature. It is widely affect the concrete strength, durability, and the lifespan. So we need to take very much precautions about the concrete temperature and the ambient temperature. So it is not good for the temperature it is above or it is low. We need to take the very much precaution during that times. Today we are going to discuss about the cold weather concreting. So what is cold weather concrete? What is the effect of cold weather concreting, and what is the best practice and how to get the desired strength and durability during the cold weather? So without wasting time, please let's go to the subject and stay tuned until the end to get the full information about the cold weather concretes. And if you are new on my channel, kindly subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that whenever I upload a new video, you will get immediate notification. So let's start. What is the definition of cold weather concreting? See, cold weather concreting, Indian standards specify IS 7861 part 2, and 7861 part 1 is the hot weather concrete. And if you want to know about the hot weather concrete, I have made a detailed video on that. Link is there or in the description. Please check, you will get the full information about hot weather concrete. Now, what is cold weather concreting? Any operation of concreting done at about 5 degrees centigrade atmospheric temperature or below. That means if the temperature is 5 degree or below and we need to do the concreting that time, that concrete will be referred to as a cold weather concrete, and special care or the precaution to be taken as per the recommendation in IS 7861 to get the desired strength and the durability. So these are the definitions that cold weather concrete. Now, what is the effects of cold weather concreting? In IS 7861 part 2, it is saying clause number 3, what is the effect? That is delayed setting, freezing of concrete at early age, repeated freezing and thawing of concrete, stresses due to the temperature differential. So these are the effects can be happen. So what is this? Let's summarize. When the temperature is falling to about 5 degrees centigrade or below, the development of concrete strength is retarded compared with the strength development at a normal temperature. The hardening period necessary before the removal of forms is thus increased, and the experience from concreting at normal temperature cannot be used directly. So it is the delayed the setting time, which means we need more time to remove the formwork and we need more time to complete the full process. So it will eventually delay the project and the cost will also go increase. So these are the detrimental effect for the low weather. And another thing is freezing concrete at early ages. If it is happen when concrete is exposed to freezing temperature, there is a risk concrete suffering irreparable loss of strength and other qualities. That is, permeability may increase, that the durability may be impaired. So if it is happening freezing in the early age, that permeability will be increased, the durability will be reduced, and we will not get the strength as per the desired strength and the durability. Then repeated freezing and thawing of concreting. If concrete is exposed to repeated freezing and thawing after final set and during the hardening period, the final qualities of the concrete may also be impaired. So which means if this repeated freezing and thawing is happening, this is also detrimental for the concrete strength and the durability. So what we need to do? We need to protect our concrete from the repeated freezing and thawing. Then again, another things what will happen, stresses due to temperature differentials. It is a general experience that large temperature differentials within the concrete member may promote cracks and having a harmful effect to the durability. Such differentials are likely to occur in cold weather at the time of removal of form or insulations. That means if there is a heavily difference in between the concrete core and the concrete surface, then there crack can happen and it will eventually reduce the durability and the lifespan. So these are the effect: delayed setting, freezing of concrete and early ages, repeated freezing and thawing of concrete, stresses due to temperature differential. These are all against our projects. That means projects will be delayed, cost will be more, and will not get the concrete as per the requirement. So these are the effect. Now, what is the precautionary measure? That precautionary measure also is mentioned in the IS code. So whenever we are working in the India, we need to follow the IS code. So we always follow the IS code. And here is my request to all you. Now we are saying this IS 7861 part 2 is the cold weather concrete, but always check the latest revision and the amendment from the BIS website only, no from no other sources. to know which one is the latest one, and we will follow only the latest one. So what is the precautionary measure? In table 1, they are saying that there are three conditions may arise, and within the three conditions, we need to take the precautionary measure. What is the three condition? Then when the temperature below 5 degree but does not fall below freezing point. So this is the first criteria. If our concrete is following this criteria, we need to take some precautionary measure. Then when frost occurs only at night, and then when there is a several frost day and night. So it is a night, not side. Night, N-I-G-S-T. So if it is frost occurs only at night, or there is several frost day and night at the both time. So what is the precaution? First things, at low temperature, that means when there is a temperature in between 5 degrees centigrade. Keep formwork in position longer or use rapid hardening cement. So first criteria, we need to keep the formwork in position and we need to use the rapid hardening cement. Cover the top of the concrete with insulating material. So insulating material we need to provide to prevent the heat loss. Then insulate steel formwork. So steel formwork we need to provide, and make sure that the concrete is delivered to the point of placing at not less than 5 degrees centigrade. That is very much essential, that the concrete should not be less than 5 degrees centigrade. That is why we need to control the temperature of our raw material, that is aggregates and water, to get the concrete as per the required temperature. So we'll discuss later how to heat the raw material to get the temperature of the concrete. Then these are the condition, the four condition we need to take care, or we need to precaution this whenever the temperature is 5 degree but not below the freezing point. The second thing is when there is a frost at night, what will happen? Take all the precaution given A. That means these all four is valid, and in addition to that, insulate all formwork. Now we need to insulate all the formwork. Then make sure that the concrete is not placed against a frozen bar grade or against a reinforcement or forms covered with snow and ice. So if there is any snow and ice, we should not place the concrete. First we need to remove and then only we can place. Then place concrete quickly and insulate. So as long as we need to do the operation of concreting and we need to do the insulation. So the first criteria, the second criteria. Now the third condition, then when there is a severe frost day and night, that means in daytime also, nighttime also there is a frost. So what we need to take the precaution? It is also mentioning take all precaution given A and B. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Now in addition, what? Hit the water and if necessary the aggregate. So now we need to hit the water and aggregate and make sure that the concrete is delivered to the point of placing at not less than 10 degrees centigrade. So before it was not 5 degree. Now it is the temperature of the concrete is increased not less than 10 degrees centigrade. Place quickly and insulate, or make sure concrete is delivered at the point of placing is not less than 5 degrees centigrade. Place quickly and provide continuous heating of the concrete. So there is a two criteria. If it is 10 degree, we need to do the insulate. But if it is a 5 degree, we need to continue the heat the concrete to make the concrete temperature as per the requirement. So these are the things we need to precautionary measure when there is a temperature or we are doing the dealing with the cold weather concreting. Now another things we need to do, that is we need to heat the ingredient. That means raw material we need to heat. We already discussed that we need to heat in the precautionary measure also it is mentioning that we need to heat the water and we need to heat the aggregate. But how we get that one? Then aggregate, what we aggregate we need to do this, it is also mentioned in the same code 4.2. Heating of aggregate shall be such that the frozen lumps, ice and snow are eliminated, and at the same time overheating is avoided. At no point shall be the aggregate temperature exceed 100 degrees centigrade. The average temperature of aggregate of an individual batch shall not exceed 65 degrees centigrade. The heating of aggregate to temperature higher than 15 degrees centigrade is nearly necessary with mixing water at 60 degrees centigrade. So these are the criteria we need to fulfill whenever we are heating the aggregate or the raw material of the concrete, so that we can deliver the concrete as per the requirement, or the temperature will be 10 degree or 5 degree. So but on thing overheated we should not be allowed, and it should not exceed any point of time 100 degrees centigrade. So an individual batch shall not exceed 65 degrees centigrade. So these are the criteria for the heating of the aggregate. So now we need to heat the water. Mixing water shall be placed. So it is a clause of 4.3 of the same code. Mixing water shall be heated under such a control and in sufficient quantity as to avoid appreciate fluctuations in temperature from batch to batch. So it will be individual. The required temperature of mixing water to produce specified concrete is shown to avoid possibility of flash set when either aggregate water is heated to a temperature is excesses of 40 degrees centigrade of water, and aggregate shall be mixed together in the mix first in such a way that the high temperature of one or other is reduced before cement is added. The heated water shall come into direct contact with the aggregate first and not the cement. So that means after then only we can pour the cement. That is also a very essential or criteria to get the desired quality of concrete. And the cement, it is always saying use rapid hardening cement as per IS 8041. So these are the heating of the raw material. That means if we can control the raw material temperature, we can control the temperature of the finished product or the concrete. And we, according to the precautionary measure, if we can make precaution taken, we can get the right kind of concrete. Now protection of concrete, it's very much important. We need to protect the concrete after doing the compaction. Now, why we need to protect? If otherwise the heat loss will be happen. We need to prevent the heat loss. So during cold weather, what is the clause? It says it is the 8.2. During cold weather, all concrete surfaces shall be covered as soon as the concrete has been placed in order to keep the heat in and help prevent freezing. So immediately after the concrete, we need to place the insulation to avoid the freezing. Clean straw blankets about 50 mm thick, stacking tarpaulins, expanded polystyrene, plastic sheeting, and waterproof paper can be used for the condition with air gap as an insulation. So what is our purpose? We first things we need to control the temperature of our concrete to get the right kind of concrete or to heat. How we can make? We can heat the raw material, and when we place the concrete, now we need to protect that placed concrete, that the heat loss cannot be happen from inside the concrete, so that there will be no freezing action. Now we need to protect the concrete itself. So first things, we need to prepare the concrete, we need to heat the ingredients. Now after placing, we need to protect the concrete by insulating metal, air gap, and everything. Minimum is 50 mm thick, so that there will be no heat loss. So first point, what is the concrete of what is the cold weather concrete, then what is the precautionary measure, then how to heat the ingredients, and then protection of concrete. So these things we need to follow whenever we are dealing with the cold weather concreting. So next point is formwork removal. This is a very important, because if we cannot remove the formwork, we cannot go the next activities, and it will slow down the project. So we need to remove the formwork. So what is the formwork removal guidelines for the same for the cold water concrete? Again, I 7861 part 2 table 5. So recommended minimum time limits for stripping formworks to normal structural concrete when the member is carrying only its own weight. So there is no external load. So what? Ordinary, if we are using ordinary Portland cement concrete or rapid hardening Portland cement. Cold weather, air temperature about 3 degree, and normal is just 16 degree. So beam side 5 days if it is temperature is 3 degree, but if it is normal above 16 degree is 1. Slab props left under 7 days or 3.5 days. And if it is a rapid hardening, it will stripping time will be the less. It will be the 3 times the days, and it will be 1 day. So there are two criteria. One is ordinary Portland cement, and another is rapid hardening Portland cement. And there is two. If the temperature is about 3 degree, or if its temperature above 16 degree. In accordingly, there is a table: beam side, slabs, beam subfits, removal of props to the beams. So this table is given all the guidelines that we need to keep the formwork or keep the props as per the required. It will be not follow as per the normal stripping time, because it's the cold weather. We need to make our concrete strength and gain the strength and durability factor also to be concerned, and accordingly the stripping time will be less. And whenever your project is in there, you need to plan accordingly, that we need to keep the formwork in such a way that there will be no delay in the project, because projects need to finish within the time and within the budget and within the quality. So everything to be considered, and it will well advanced to be planned, that will be no problem to create a plan so that it will yield the result. So these are the all about the cold weather concreting as per the Indian standard. And I hope you find it is useful. And if you find it useful, kindly subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon, so that whenever I upload a new video, you will get immediate notification. And I'm waiting for your valuable comment, so that from your valuable comment, everybody will be benefited. And from your comment, I will come with more content like this. Thank you. Thank you once again.